episode of Ask Renuka. I'm Renuka, and today I'm going to answer one of the questions that a lot of students ask me, that is, how to deal with a gap. There are a lot of students who complete their B2, C1 or even C2, and then they start working with some multinational organizations. Once you start working, usage of your language becomes limited to your particular domain or the field of your profile. And then a lot of students don't understand how do I deal with it? How do I make sure that I don't forget my language? How do I make sure that I'm C1 certified? How do I maintain my niveau, my language niveau to be C1? A lot of people feel less confident while speaking. So there are certain things that you can do, and I'm going to share those things, and all of them are going to come out of my personal examples. Because I was also working with a multinational organization for long years, yeah, and I also faced the similar issues like you did. But I'm going to tell you what I did, and I'm going to give you some suggestions which you can even implement in your day-to-day life. So let's start. I completed my C2 in 2009 and I started working. For the first 2 years of my job profile, the profile was so good, it involved reading, listening, speaking, and writing in German, due to which my German was not just intact, but I also could improve my language. But after 2 years, when I got my first promotion, my profile changed. With the new profile, the usage of language became limited in my day to day work. So I didn't know what to do. I felt like when I had some client calls, I felt like I'm not able to speak that fluently, or I'm facing certain issues while speaking in German. So I implemented certain things for myself. When you're working in a multinational organization with a team of, let's say, 20, 25 or even 50 or 100 people, you have a gift, and that gift is you have those many people around you who have learned the same foreign language as you have, and even they want to keep their language intact. Even they are facing issues due to the gap, right? So there are sort of simple activities that you can start doing. That is, I started following a German day. That is, one day in a week, my entire team, we started speaking only in German. That helped me a lot. Then there were certain initiatives that I took. I could take a lead on certain initiatives which in general helped my personality, but it also helped my language because the initiatives were revolving around improving the language. For example, conducting language sessions in the organization, yeah, having some language related activities. When you nominate yourself for certain activities, you yourself will make sure that you learn it good so that you can present it in front of people. So taking lead in certain activities would improve your personality on one hand, but also make sure that you keep your language level intact. After my second promotion, again my profile changed and the language usage of language became even lesser. Yeah, but there are certain things like, for example, when I used to conduct process training in India, in a multinational organization, when you're conducting a process training, it's not necessary that you conduct them in German, right? Because most of the times your team members, your colleagues happen to understand English, happen to understand even some regional languages, and trainings could happen very easily in the regional languages. Yeah, where we can keep just using the Fachbegriffe, that is the domain related terms in German, and rest all could be in English or any other regional language. But I made sure that all my trainings happened in German. That helped me to feel more confident in speaking, and even my trainees appreciated it because they got to speak in German and even their language could improve. Yeah. Then there are some other activities that I did outside my organization on my own, which also helped me to keep my language intact. And that is, one of my teachers has given me this suggestion, and that helped me immensely to improve my language. What I did was I started listening to certain podcasts. So first thing that I did was I found something that interests me, because I didn't want to do an activity just for the sake of improving language, but I wanted to find an activity which I would do otherwise For example, listening to stand-up comedy shows. So what I did was I started listening to stand-up comedy shows in German or certain comedy podcasts in German. So I used my time that I had in commuting from my home to workplace. I dedicated that to improve the language. What I did was while going to the office, I used to hear a podcast, an interview, or some comedy show. And when I came back, what I did was I started a recording on my mobile, and I started doing the summary of what I heard in the morning. Yeah. So what I did was I listened, which improved my hearing, but I also did the Zusammenfassung, that is the summary, which could improve my expression. Yeah, so in that way, I did that on a very regular basis. I did that very religiously, and after every 3 days, I used to listen to my own recording 3 days back. There, I could spot my own mistakes. There, I could give myself some improvement suggestions, like, I could have said that in a different way, which would have sounded better, or even for the Aussprache, I could give myself a lot of suggestions, right? So if you see, now this activity has nothing to do with my job profile, with my daily routine, or with the work that I have. So there are a lot of activities that you can do in order to keep your German language intact. And at the end, I'm going to tell you something very interesting. After working in a multinational organization for so long, and after having seen a lot of people losing touch with their language, this entire situation gave me an idea of tailoring a brand new course related to speaking German. So currently in Pathshaalaa we provide two different courses. One is called as Sprechbereit. It is for the people who have completed their B1, and their second course is for the people who have completed their B2, and the course is called as Spoken German and Grammar Revision. In both the courses, we have people who are generally dealing with gap, who want to improve their speaking, because after working in an organization for 4 years, 5 years, when you actually start appearing for interviews in new organizations, that's the point where you realize, okay, I need to improve my German, otherwise I'm not able to crack the interview. And that becomes a little too late. So it's very important to start as early as you could and start working on your language. I have given you a lot of tips that you can apply for on your own. Yeah, something that you do completely on your own. Or there are certain courses with us that you can visit in order to deal with your gap. Just make sure that you keep watering your German language, because you don't want the language to die. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next episode of Ask Renuka very soon. Until next time, bye.